रूप रघुनाथ पदे हईबे आकुति कबे आमी बुझाबा से जुगल प्रीति. If you want to know what is the priti of conjugal love, then we'll have to go to Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, and to pray, "Oh Prabhu, you should be merciful to us." And only by the blessings and mercies of Rupa Goswami we can know what is Jugal Piriti. Otherwise, in colleges, we cannot have these things. Anywhere in world, in no colleges, even a Shraddha, a bit of Shraddha we can have from colleges, those who are Nastic, atheists. What they can learn us? They cannot teach anything. They will teach us tit for tat, Chanakya Niti and all other things. Policies, duplicacy, hypocrisy, all these they will teach us. So, Jah Bhagavat Pada Vaishnavar Sthane. You should go to Vaishnav and you should learn what is Bhagavat. Real meaning they will give. Not any university or philosophical colleges, anywhere. I don't know in what college Haridas Thakur has read. He had been attended in what college? He was the principal perhaps of that college, Namacharya, who has given this title. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself gave. And he cannot write A, B, C, O, A, Ang, Ah. He does not know. How he became? By the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya. We don't know into what college Srivas Pandit or any helps them. Krishna Bhakti cannot we have anywhere in this fair or in world. Ja Bhagavat Pada Vaishnavista. So here Narottam Thakur, he was a very learned person in Sanskrit and Bengali, and he was top learned person. But he is telling to Loknath Goswami here that, "Oh Gurudev, be merciful to me that I should go to Rupa and Sanatan, Rupa and Raghunath. Only by their mercies, if we surrender fully in their lotus feet, then automatically Krishna Premi will come. Shraddha, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem, Sneh, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav. Like a garland, it will come. If the mercy of Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu is coming to us, then we can chant Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sarir. Like this, "Oh Gauri Chandra, Sachinandan Gaur Hari." Otherwise we cannot tell. We can make a sound, Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sarir. But that sound is mundane sound, mundane sound. Nityananda Prabhu cannot hear this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not hear this. Those who have surrendered solely to Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu accepted them, then this sound will go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and heart will be melted, and that melting through eyes will come as a tears. Then our life will be successful. These are the process. To have Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu has manifested himself in so many Sadguru, but really they should be Guru. So-called Guru cannot do anything. In this world there are so many so-called Gurus, having the best, but having so much anger, lust, and what? Hypocrisy,
duplicity,
dvesh,
envy,
everything. They are not even a Vaishnava ought to be a Sadguru. So we should try, but our try will not do. We should tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Prabhu, you will have to manage Sadhu Sangha, Sadguru for me. He will hear certainly if our desire is earnest, and then we can do all these things. Then we can pray to Rup Sanatan, Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Haibe Akuti, Kabe Ame Bujha Base, Jugal Apriti. Rupa Raghunatha Pade. If you want to learn all these things, go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, any Chaitanya Mahaprabhu associates, and go and take the feet dust, remnants, Bhakta Pada Dhuli are Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhukta Shesh, 18 Sadha Nirbal. If you want Krishna Bhakti, then you should have to three things. Krishna Charanamrita is not so powerful. The Charanamrita of Vaishnava are more powerful. Remnants of Krishna is called Mahaprasad, but the remnant of any bona fide Vaishnava is called Mahaprasad. And the Bani words, these are the remnants of that Bhakta. We should take all this in our hearts. Then these are sadhan. So we should try to follow. Have a relation with Krishna. What is the relation? It will come from Diksha. Divyam Jnanam Jado Datyati Kuryat Papasya Sanchame. Not giving mantra, I will give air in your ear. This is not Diksha. So big fire, yajna was done, and 100 tins of ghee was there. Swaha, Om Narayanaya Swaha. This will not do. This will not do. What will do? Guru will give relation. What is the relation? We are thus, we will realize this. And then Kuryat Papasya Sankhayam. All ego, lust, desires, sense gratification, all will go away. But there is, we are chanting Hare Krishna, but we have envy to anyone. This is not Harinam. But it is offense. So we should know all these things. And then chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. How we should chant? Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandanandanam. Why? Do kirtan like this, whole day and night. Not only management here, there. If you want to please Radha and Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan, and our beloved Gurudev, Gurudev only wants, disciple tells that what service I can do. He will tell you, oh, Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandanandanam. Oh. Gurudev wants this thing, not money, not anything, no pratishtha, nothing. If he wants anything other than this, he is actually no guru, no bona fide guru. He is a businessman. We should not try to go to businessmen. We should go to Akinchan Deenhin Vaishnava Guru. Akinchan, you know, only Krishna Prem he is done. Money is Krishna Prem, nothing else. So we should try to do all this. Then what we should do? Not only Krishna. Krishna is half, Srimati Radhika is half, and both are one. So what should we do? Munindra Brinda Bandite Shokaharini Prasanna Vatra Pankajai Punya Bhumilasini Brajendra Bhanu Nandini Brajendra Sunu Sangaje Kadakari Shasinamam Kripadatasya Bhajana. Oh Radhika, when you will do merciful to me? I want only a sprinkle. Your mercy is sprinkle only I want. Oh Radhika, if you are not merciful to me, I cannot be saved. I will die. I don't know what is the mercy of Krishna. Krishna will come and tell that what you want. I want to give you any benediction. When you will do Namami Nandanandanam. Then the real devotees, what he wants to Krishna from Krishna, then he tells Asoka Vriksha Ballari Gapastite Pallava Barabhaya Surat Kare Prabhuta Sampadalaye Kadakari Shasirama Vibhagata Shabhajana. Oh Prabhu, I want only to be the Palyadashi, maid servant of Srimati Radhika. If you are so much pleased to me and want to give me any benediction, that I know you cannot do without her help. You cannot give anything without her help, because he has so much benedictions in his hands, lakhs and lakhs benediction. I know that you cannot be controlled, but if Srimati Radhika will give benediction that Krishna should be controlled by you, you will be controlled, I know. So hoy Shyam Sundar Shikhanda Shekhar Shmir Harsh Murali Radhika Rasikamang Kripanidhe Swapriya Charanakankari Kuru. Oh Krishna, if you are so much merciful to me, then you should make me Palyadashi of Srimati Radhika, Radhika and only Radhika. I am of Radhika. You should be merciful and tell Srimati Radhika, request Radhika, he should take my name. Srimati Radhika should take my name in her register, that from today you are my servant. I only want this. Makheshwari, Kriyeshwari, Sureshwari, Tiveda Bharatishwari, Manasasami, Rameshwari, Kshameshwari, Pramodapameshwari, Rajeshwari, Rajanine, Shri Radhike Namostute, Shri Radhika Namostute, Radhika Namostute. I know Srimati Radhika is who? Makheshwari, Kriyeshwari, Sudheshwari, Trived Bharteshwari, Pramana Shasaneshwari, Rameshwari, Kshameshwari, Pramodakaneshwari. You should know the meaning of all these words. None are like Srimati Radhika. He is Ishwari of all. He is Ishwari of Krishna himself. No? So, we should try to do bhajan like this in this way. These are the way to do bhajan. So, we should chant, remember, and try to develop our Krishna consciousness. Today is perhaps so much time. So, now you are going to end our this Karjakram, and Maha Mantra should be done, and then you can do Krita.